What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rob. I like to play games, and welcome back to the Commander Corner. Today, we are going over another commander from Secrets of Strixhaven. This time, though, we're not touching one of the precons. No, we did our three there. But I did want to highlight another one of the schools. You know, we touched on, what was it, Silver Quill, we've done the Prismara, we've done Quandrix. Today, I thought we'd take a look at Witherbloom, so that would be the Golgari commander here. So let's take a look at what we've got built. Alright, and as you can see here, this is Live for the Swarm. We are basing this deck around Blech, Loafing Pest. A little bit of lore for those of you who are interested in that. Blech is, I believe, the son or grandson of Blex from the original Strixhaven set. So let's see what Blech can do here compared to his family. So Blech, Loafing Pest, is a one of anything black-green legendary pest creature. He's a 3/4 that says whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on each pest, bat, insect, snake, and spider you control. So that means we are doing kind of swarm mechanics with some life gain and +1/+1 counters. It's a little bit different in the fact that there are just so many different creature types that he wants to work with, so you can kind of build it in a lot of different ways. I tried to incorporate as many of those creature types as I could in the deck here, and we'll kind of take a look at that. Now, Blech is a payoff commander. He's not so much as the setup for your game, so we don't really want to necessarily play him too early, but we do want him in play when we start getting going. And, well, how do we start getting going? Well, we're going to start by, playing our typical mana dorks, some Landfall shenanigans with Lotus Cobra, Secure Tribe Elder, and Lotus Cobra both being snakes do mean they can get counters. So, like, Lotus Cobra, early game is going to ramp you, late game, he can turn into a pretty big threat. Same thing with Ice Till Explorer. This card has been absolutely crazy since it came out in Edge of Eternities, and I don't know a single person who does not like this little guy. Play an additional land on each of your turns. You can play lands from your graveyard, and whenever a land you control enters, so Landfall, you can mill a card. This more or less sets up his own ability for that. We do have a rather decent suite of card draw, some of it following like an Aristocrat style, just because there are going to be some sacrifice payoffs that you're going to see later. So we've got, Corrupted Conviction, Village Rites, Deadly Dispute, Plumb the Forbidden. This is a new one. As an additional cost, you may sacrifice one or more creatures. When you do, copy the spell for each creature you sacrifice this way. Now, why would we be doing that? There's a lot of sacrifice here, but why would we be doing that? Well, because the new pest in Secrets of Strixhaven, which I believe is this little guy. Nope, that's not the one. The one that we want is this one. Whenever this token no, it was the first one. Yeah, whenever it dies, you gain 1 life. So our pests are sacrificial fodder. We want to use them to gain life, trigger more things, which is going to keep us rolling. We do have some of the strong landfall finishers like Scoot Swarm, Springheart, and Nantuku. Both of these are insects. Springheart creates more insects. This is one of the few times you probably don't even want to be paying the 1 in a green for it to copy a creature. You just want more of these little 1/1 tokens. Why? Because they all grow with Blech. We're also running an interesting one from Edge of Eternities. Immedian Terrobotanist. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield, gain a life. That means every land we play is triggering Blech. More +1/+1 counter synergies. Same thing here with the Kazandu Nectar Pot. Landfall, gain a life. Again, insect gets those +1/+1 counters. We've also got some traditional life gain in Essence Warden, Rutilant Emissary, so Soul Warden style creatures that are going to gain us multiple instances of life per turn, as well as Bogwater Lament or Lamerit. Whenever this creature or another creature you control enters, gain a life. and Teacher's Pest. Whenever this creature attacks, you gain a life, and he can also be played from the graveyard, which is pretty decent, and a little bit of recursion there to go with everything. We've got a pretty stock Golgari removal package, I would say. Haywire Mite, again, it's an insect. You don't necessarily have to sacrifice it, but it is good to have for that. Pest Infestation, Mass Board Wipe, that gives you a whole bunch of pests. Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Bitter Triumph, again, going into that Aristocrat styles that we're playing a little bit. Your standard Feed the Swarm and Beast Within. Immortal Bargain, this is another new one. Additional cost to cast this spell: sacrifice X creatures, destroy X non-land permanents. Yeah, we'll sacrifice our pests, gain a bunch of life, get bigger, clear the way. And as well as, I wanted to kind of try this one. It's from the Witherbloom structure deck. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you gain life this turn. Destroy target non-land permanent. Another Abrupt Decay, but has a little bit of a different thing. Some of our token generations, we are running Valentine, Dean of the Vein, and Lisette, Dean of the Root. Valentine is going to give you more creature tokens. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. And when you do, you can pay 2 if you do create a pest creature token. And then the other side, which you can cast this for, is whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 on each creature you control, and those creatures gain trample. So kind of a double filter here. You can either play this early as a way to create more of our tokens, or we can use it as another Blech to give our stuff trample. Very powerful in that regard. Same thing with Mazaric, Cruel Death Priest, or Krull, however you pronounce that. Whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So we have multiple ways to do what Blech is doing throughout the deck, as well as we did put in the Witherbloom commander cards as well, Dina and Gorma. Standard protection spells here, some recursion, and then we've got some drain. This is where the Aristocrat style kind of comes into play. So Blood Artist doesn't need much of an explanation. Dina, whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So Zulapart Cutthroat. I really like Bastion of Remembrance. It's another one of those Blood Artist effects, so really nice to have in here. Mirkwood Bats is another really good one for this deck. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. We're going to be creating some tokens. Also, Mirkwood Bats happens to be a bat. And yeah, Blech powers that up just as well as everything else in here. So with that, how does the deck kind of play? Well, let's take a look and go from there. Alright, so here we are on the playtester. Not really that great of a hand, so we're going to mulligan. What we're really looking for is like something like Dina's effect here. Something that we can trigger life gain constantly. We got a decent little package going here, so I think we'll keep this. And let's take a look. Ooh, we got Secura Tribelder right there as well, so even better. So turn 1, nothing really. Turn 2, let's get some ramp. Turn 3, again, we're just kind of setting things up. We're just, trying to get moving here. Again, whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. So maybe not that, but we'll do Secura Tribelder here. Cool. And then, all right, this turn, let's go ahead and get, Blech going. Let's start doing some stuff. Actually, maybe not. We're not really set up for Blech yet, so let's do Zulapart Cutthroat. And we're going to wait another turn. We're not going to sack off our Tribelder just yet. It's kind of a weird start. We haven't drawn any of our lands, and there is a bunch of them in this deck. I mean, we're running 38 lands, and we only drew 2 in that playtest. I think that's just a bad hand. Let's try again. Okay, this is looking a little better. Okay, so we'll start off with a forest. We'll do a Llanowar Waste, Secura Tribelder. All right, now we're getting somewhere. What do you say? When this creature or another creature you control enters, gain a life. Cool. So then now's where we're really going to start doing some fun stuff, actually. Before we do that, We're going to sack Steve. Play a forest. Now we'll go to new turn. Alright. So now we'll play Blech. Oh, Blech entered. Triggers all of our pests, insects, all that stuff. Gain counters. And I do believe this is a spirit frog. You don't care about frogs, do you, Blech? No, Blech doesn't care about that. But that's okay. Blech still gets bigger. And that's what matters. And we'll go to like next turn. Oop. Here's one of those new lands. I don't know if you guys have really seen much of these, but these have been actually performing really well in my playtesting. Really cool cards there. Alright, so let's see. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Well, I think what we want to do is gain some more life. Get some more bodies going. You know what? Let's bring Dina in. Put another counter on those boys. What's Dina saying? Whenever you sacrifice a creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once, plus she has a sack up ability on her. Cool, even better. So, alright. There we go. We're on par for lands. Cool. Here's the original Blech. Gives all of your swarm creatures +1/+1, and whenever he dies, you gain 4 life. Or we can look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of them in your hand, the rest of your graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card put in your hand this way. Nice little card filter thing. I don't think we need that just yet. But what if we did this? And let's say we removed a creature card. So this gives attacking pests you control +1/+1 in Death Touch. Exile a target card from a graveyard. If a creature card is exiled this way, create a pest. And that says whenever this token dies, gain a life. Okay, well, let's just say we removed a creature. Probably have at this point. There you go. Make a pest. Oh, creature entered the battlefield. All my creatures get +1/+1 counters. So you can kind of see the standard gameplay pattern here with this style of deck. I mean, we can even do Shamanistic Revelation at this point. So we're going to draw a card for each creature we control. Yep, so that's going to be draw 5. As well as we gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Okay, well, so that's not going to be too many right now, but remember, that's going to trigger our stuff. So Blech is over 4, and I'm pretty sure this might be. No, this isn't yet. So we're only going to gain 4 life, but we're going to draw 5. And then we're going to proliferate all these tokens. And look at that, just like that, we've refilled our hand. We've gotten to a point again where we can, you know, keep going, and just keep building, keep fighting. Okay, I want to show you this hand real quick. So we start with a Surveil. Deadly Dispute, don't think we need that. Turn 2. Play you. Yeah, we'll keep, and you know what, we'll play that too. Gain a life, cool. And alright, this is one of the few times we didn't get a land again. But let's just say we did. Okay, just as a show that we did something, we'll put that back. Okay, and then we'll shuffle. This is where this starts getting out of control, because now every creature, you know, we're going to just pump up very similar to how we did the last time, and this is just going to exponentially go, especially when we do stuff like this. So let's say so this is going to make us 2 times X. All right, so X is 1, but we're going to make 2 pests. Each of those pests, from my understanding, triggers this by itself. So that's two Blech triggers. Yeah, now you can see where that starts getting out of control real fast. Still need some tweaking on this deck myself personally. This is one I am actually building myself, and I really like the way that it's feeling, and really am interested to see what more we can do with it. Let's get into the maybe board and check out some of the more expensive upgrades like we do most of the time. And as you're going to see here, our maybe board is mostly just lands, because I haven't quite figured out the key for everything here. I'd love to hear your comments on improvements that you would find for this deck. So we'll start with some of the basic ones. Beseju. What's there to say about Beseju? Legendary land. You can channel it, one of anything, a green, discard it. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. They search their library for a land card with basic type, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. This ability costs 1 less for each legendary creature you control. So pretty strong card there. Phyrexian Tower, another sacrifice outlet. This would be more if you want to go more of an aristocrat style of the deck. And then we've got Urborg and Yavimaya. Just great cards that are great for mana fixing, as well as helpful in just about any scenario. But yeah, that is the start of my Blech deck. I've been kind of working on this for the last probably about week and a half at this point, and it's something I'm kind of interested in building. Let me know what you're interested in building in Secrets of Strixhaven, or if there's any commanders you would like to see, please leave a comment below. And until next time, my name is Rob. I like to play games, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.